social veganism. And I understand veganism is so important nowadays for many reasons. But what's the main reason?
The main reason from a spiritual point of view, and I'm also going to say from a health point of view, is no spilling of blood. So that means we're not eating animals, and when animals are killed, we create pain, we create misery, but we also create a release of toxins from their pain and misery. And those toxins go into us, and their pain and misery go into us and come out, manifest in us as chronic disease. Specifically, we can talk about it as the rate of diabetes, and all the research in the world is saying people who are eating just a little bit of meat each day are actually increasing the rate of getting diabetes by 35 to 50%. Okay, there's a research done at Harvard with 121,000 people. They found people eating meat have a 20% increase in their mortality rates, and a 19 to 21% increase in their heart disease, and a 13% increase in getting cancer. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. There's another study at Oxford with 44,000 people, and they found a 32% increase in heart disease. So that's what we're talking about. Now, why is that happening, and why is the most important thing, evolutionary-wise, is that the research at the governmental level in the United States really shows something very interesting. It basically says that 96% of the toxins, pesticides, herbicides, and so forth, and at these days radioactivity, is concentrated in the animals because they're higher up in the food chain. So when we are eating lower on the food chain, which is vegan, we're not getting the same concentration. There is some, but certainly not the same concentration, and it actually makes a big difference. For example, a vegetarian woman only has 2% of the pesticide and herbicide in her breast milk as a meat-eating woman. Now that's actually a really big deal. So veganism, the no spilling of blood, has us eating lower in the food chain, and therefore it's better for our health. It's better for our spiritual life because we're not taking death into our system. It's better for the ecology because animal agriculture takes 50 to 70% of the water, greatly increases the air pollution, and takes about a third of the arable land. So we're looking at, and it takes somewhere, depending on the statistic, between 8 and 29 times more energy to produce. So it depletes the ecology. The bigger picture is if the whole world were to go vegan, there'd be enough food to feed the world 7 times over, which is pretty significant. So there wouldn't be that kind of hunger and starvation happening on the planet. So there are multiple levels, and perhaps the most important is that when you're taking the pain and misery of the animal's death into you, it creates a certain chaotic mental state that the animals are experiencing before they die, and we take that chaos into us, and so it agitates our mind.
It's all about consciousness again.
It's all about consciousness at the bottom of the thing. And when you're eating lower on the food chain, you're activating your consciousness. I would say this, in the whole story of that, is that each time in history, we're given the medicine to heal. And the veganism is the medicine for the healing of the planet at this time in history and as we go into the future. That's what we're saying. And just in case you think we're getting too advanced here, I want to point out as far back as 2010, the European Commission and the World Health Organization actually said the world, for the preservation of health and for the ecology, the world needs to move towards a vegan way of life. So it's actually getting to be more standard thinking than just extremely progressive. So if the European Commission says it, the World Health Organization says veganism is very important for the survival of the planet, we're talking really significant shifts in consciousness.